8 signs he cares more than you think. Not every guy in the world is 100% honest all of the time when it comes to how he feels. We know, what a crazy concept. Many are way too cool to admit what's really going on in their heads when they start to fall for someone new, so how do you know what the deal is? If you've been dating a guy for a while and are starting to catch some serious feelings, don't just rely on his disclosure to let you know if he feels the same. There are a few hints he may unknowingly give that suggest he really does care about you. Or if you are starting to fall for one of your guy friends but having an open conversation about it at this point might jeopardize the friendship, there are ways to tell whether he feels the same about you. Here are 8 signs he cares more than you think. 1. He cares about your well-being. The top sign that a guy is way more into you than you might think? That would be that he's honestly, truly, and genuinely interested in your welfare and happiness, even if it has nothing to do with his own. Most of the other signs, like his texting you and wanting to be alone with you, are about fulfilling his own urges to be closer with the girl he cares about. But on top of all of that, a guy who really cares will be interested in your well-being because he wants the best for you. He encourages you to chase your dreams even if they take you away from him. He supports whatever will give you the best quality of life, and if he is going to be in the picture, he improves himself to try and be good enough for you. There are many ways he can do this, and they're all good signs. 2. He can't stay mad at you. A guy who really cares about you will hate fighting with you, so when the argument isn't too intense, he'll want to finish it quickly so you can get back to being lovey-dovey. If something's kind of annoys him but isn't a huge deal, he might not even bring it up, just because he hates when the relationship is strained. He'll also have a much harder time seeing your flaws because he's so into you. That doesn't mean that you won't fight or he'll let you get away with everything. If he never brings up anything at all, it could actually mean that he doesn't care enough about you to work through your problems. He will still bring up the things that are important, of course, because he wants to make your relationship better in the long run, but he'll want to get those fights over with as soon as he can. 3. He speaks to you early and late. In addition to texting you when there isn't even anything to say, it's a good sign when a guy texts you early in the morning and late at night because that suggests that you're the first and last thing on his mind. Don't confuse sweet, late-night messages with booty calls, but generally, if he's reserving thought space for you at those prime times when his brain is still revving up for the day or winding down, it means you have a pretty strong hold on his feelings. It doesn't have to just be texts, but any form of communication means the same thing. Early morning and goodnight phone calls are super romantic. There may also not be another super motivating and amazing wake-up call as when a guy you're into texts or calls you. Nothing is likely to give you sweeter dreams or get you ready for the day ahead. Swoon. 4. He's protective. If he cares about you more than he says he does, it's going to be obvious in how protective he is. He'll want to make sure you're physically safe, so might become concerned if you make risky decisions or put yourself in what he perceives to be a danger. Depending on his personality, he might voice his concern or he may just be the silent type who says nothing but still keeps an eye on you. There's a difference between protective and oppressive though, and nobody has time for boyfriends who tell you how to dress and where to go. None of that, thanks. But he'll look out for you, and will always support you if someone is getting in your face. He'll defend your name when you're not there because he cares about your reputation as well as your physical safety. 5. He's interested in your future. Just as he's interested in your love life, a guy who has real feelings for you will also be interested in your future. He'll want to know what your goals and plans are for life. He'll be interested in things like whether or not you plan on moving away or getting a job that requires strange hours. This is definitely because he cares about you and is genuinely interested in all aspects of your life, but it's also because he may be trying to see where he could possibly fit in your future. If you two are already in a relationship, he might be at the stage where he's thinking about changing around his plans to suit yours so you guys can build a future together. Or he might not be ready to make the commitment yet. But his pure interest indicates that the feelings are there, and it's up to you to decide what to do about it now. 6. He's interested in your love life. Again, this one is specifically for guys who are supposed to just be friends with you, or who you're only casually seeing and it's not exclusive. If he cares more than he says he does, he'll be super interested in your love life. He'll listen intently whenever you talk about it, and might even bring it up to find things out. He'll want to know who you're seeing and what your intentions are, and this is usually because he wants to see where he fits. He might be thinking about being honest with his feelings for you, and wants to reduce his chances of being rejected by making sure that you're not in love with someone else first. Sometimes guys don't have the macho confidence that society expects them to have, and that's okay. He may feel too insecure to confess how he feels until he knows for sure where you stand. 7. You can read his body language. Body language are super important. Unless you are unusually self-aware and being extremely careful, your body language and eye contact is usually involuntary. It is one of the things you should be paying attention to when you need more than just a verbal hint. Therefore it's the perfect opportunity to get a better look into someone's feelings. Guys who really care about you, especially if they're only supposed to be nothing more than friends, are totally touchy. They usually stand really close and lean in and stare you in the eyes more than the average person. You'll also probably catch them looking at you when you're occupied. Guys who you're already dating will also generally have much stronger eye contact if they truly care about you. They'll also stand close to you in public, whereas men who aren't as serious might not want to appear attached to you in front of others. 8. He makes excuses to spend time alone with you. We've already mentioned that a guy will fit you into his schedule if he really cares about you, but it goes one step further, and here's how. He will want to spend time alone with you and will make any sort of excuse to achieve that goal. This applies much more to those ladies who are wondering about the feelings of a male friend. If you're already dating him, you're probably spending time alone anyway, but if you're currently just friends, most of the time you spend together could be in the company of the rest of the squad. In this case, he might offer to pick you up before you join everyone else, or subtly gravitate towards you if he sees you sitting by yourself. Usually, he will jump at any opportunity to have you all to himself. Not necessarily because he wants to make his move, but just because he really enjoys your company.